I'm going to do a presentation on the B vitamin complex, which will be available very shortly in Canada. And I'm really excited. As I said, I'm really excited about this. And I'm going to really tell you, first of all, just go through some of the basics. There's 90 capsules, okay? And I don't know the pricing yet, but it is in the US. I believe I think it's 20 US dollars. So it's going to be comparable in Canadian funds. Very, very inexpensive. And you take only one a day. You don't need more than that. And so, firstly, I need to tell you some of the signs and symptoms of B vitamin deficiency. A lot of people have deficiencies B vitamin, they don't know it. So if you have a multitude of some of these symptoms, then most likely you are deficient. And it's not the fact that you may not be eating, that you may still be eating well, but if you're not able to actually absorb or utilize the B complexes that are in the foods, that your body's still not going to be able to make use of it. So take a look. Skin rashes, cracks around the mouth. That's a very a common sign of a B vitamin deficiency. Scaly skin on the lips, swollen tongue, fatigue, very common. Weakness and anemia, especially if it's a B12 vitamin deficiency, you're highly likely to become anemic. Mental issues, confusion, irritability or depression, nausea, abdominal cramps, diarrhea, or constipation. So, I mean, sometimes how would you know why you were getting these conditions? Numbness or tingling in the feet and hands. That's a pretty advanced vitamin B deficiency. So if you take a look and if you have any of these symptoms, usually this happens when you're very deficient. But one of the key things is fatigue. Fatigue is a big one, even if you're not severely deficient. And the cracks around the mouth is quite common, and skin issues. So this may be just the thing if you have some of those issues. So let's first of all look at what the foods are that are high in B vitamins. And it's a variety of different kinds of foods. And it's going to kind of go in the order of the highest concentration of the B vitamins to the lowest. Actually, it's kind of variable. The highest are animal products like milk, cheese, eggs, especially organ meats like liver and kidney, your red meats, chicken. Then you get to the fishes, the shellfishes, and then dark green veggies have much higher content of B complexes than the lighter vegetables. You've got the whole grains, the cereals, not as much, but still some in there. Nuts and seeds tend to have higher amounts. Fruits, not much, because remember, fruits are mostly water, and there's some sugars, but minimal amount, but there's still some in there. Soy products, because they're more concentrated, will have more B vitamins than like fruits, etc. Molasses, wheat germ, yeast, and nutritional yeast has high amounts of B vitamins. So as you can see, if somebody's eating a variety of different kinds of foods, especially if you're eating animal products, having a B deficiency is not that common, but it still can happen because you may not be able to utilize the B complex you get from your food. And that's usually the number one cause of deficiencies, is that even if you get lots of B complexes in your food, your body can't use them. And I'm going to show you why. And so the B vitamins play a very unique and important role in supporting your body, especially promoting energy and metabolism. So if you've been taking Himohem consistently and you have very low energy, and you find that, a lot of people say, oh, I've got a lot more energy since I've been taking Himohem, but that's not happening with you. It may be because you are B vitamin deficient. So there's other reasons why you're low energy. So just keep that in mind. So same with other people that are saying, I've been taking Himohem and I'm still really tired and lethargic. Then you might think, you may be B vitamin deficient, because the energy factor is huge. And also it's very important for proper metabolism. So as you can see, the B vitamins, Atomy B vitamins, packed with like the actual ideal proportions of the 8 critical B vitamins. If you have too much of one and too little of something else, then basically you're wasting the one that has too much. So it's in different proportion the way that your body will use it. And it comes from organic fruits and vegetables. There's no animal products in this. It is totally vegan, so it's good for everyone. It's formulated with active forms of nutrient. That's critical because the cheaper B vitamins are not this form. And you can take it till the cows come home, but you'll most likely pee it out because you're not able to use that form. Your body has to actually convert that particular form, which is a cheaper B vitamin. And if you don't convert, you will not be able to use it. And that's the key with the Atomy B complex. Is it's in a form that your body actually can use, and it doesn't need to convert, which means also you don't need to take a lot of that particular B vitamin to get results. So the Atomy B complex delivers daily doses in one convenient, it's a veggie caps as well. So everything is totally vegan. So good for everyone. So what are the benefits of taking B complex? Number one, maintaining good health and well-being overall. Because even if you miss one of these B vitamins, something's not going to work properly. So what vitamins and minerals are in your body? Number one, you don't need to take a lot. You notice this is going to be a tiny little capsule, and you only take one a day. You think, wow, that's not a lot of anything. Vitamins and minerals are what we call catalysts in your body. They actually help certain chemical reactions to occur. So if you have a whole bunch of substance A and a whole bunch of substance C or B, and A plus B need to give substance C, before A and B can react and form the new product, the substance C, it needs a catalyst. And that's where the vitamin and the minerals, especially the vitamins, come in. You just drop a little bit of it and poof, you get the chemical reaction. So if you've ever taken chemistry and you did little experiments where you put one liquid and another liquid together, nothing happens, and then you add a tiny little bit of something and you see it turning purple or whatever, that is that catalyst. And that's what the vitamins do in our body. So it's critical that we have it, and we can't make it. So which means we need to get it from our foods. So it supports a metabolism of our food, and which then is converted into cellular energy. And this is the part where energy comes in. Supports your nervous system's health, including your brain and all your nerves. And it's the building blocks that impacts the energy levels, brain function, and cell metabolism. So those are pretty critical functions. So, all right, so what are the role of these 8 B vitamins? There's 8 B vitamins in this complex. And as you can see, B1 supports your energy. It's necessary for growth and development function of cells. B2, riboflavin, supports energy function, normal cell function. B3, niacin, helps support the digestive system. So this is where if you've got diarrhea or constipation, and it says skin and nerve, so skin issues, it may be a deficiency in niacin. B5, essential fatty acids for synthesis and degradation. We need fatty acids in the cell wall of all our cells, so it's a critical function. B6 plays a role in mood and regulation and brain. So B6 affects your brain the most. B7, biotin, helps the body metabolize proteins and process glucose. So which means glucose is our main energy source, and if you don't have if you don't have this vitamin, your ability to actually use glucose is going to decrease greatly. Same with metabolizing your proteins. B9, folate, is critical for normal cell growth and formation of DNA, so for every cell in your body. B12, a lot of people have heard of B12 deficiency that causes pernicious anemia. It's required for normal red blood cell formation. So again, if you've been using Himohem, and it's supposed to help you increase blood formation, and it has also high amounts of iron, but if you don't have this B12, it doesn't matter how much iron you have, how much Himohem you have, you're not going to be able to make proper red blood cells. So B12 is very critical, and it's very difficult to get in proper form. And so As you can see, every single one of these B vitamins is critical for proper function of our body. So our B complex is very, very unusual. Firstly, non-GMO, gluten-free, and vegan. So that's right off the bat, it's amazing. Organic vegetables and fruit blends. Very few will use organic vegetables and fruits to make the B complexes. A lot of them actually have animal products because it's cheap. It's easier to get the B complex from animals as opposed to from the vegetables. You need a lot more vegetables and fruits to get the same amount of the B vitamins. So it's a costlier process. But Atomy does it that way. And 3, active forms of B9, which means, again, the metafolane. This is a special process that Atomy has developed that they're using, which means you're going to get the B9 in the form that your body can use immediately. So you don't need any converting. It's already in the form it's supposed to use. Number 4, active forms of B2, B3, B6, and B7. And number 5, methylcobalamin is the active form of B12. So as you can see, all of the critical B vitamins are already in the active form. And when you see, most people, when you buy a B vitamin, you don't know what you're getting. You just think, oh, it's a B vitamin, it should be good for me. Not necessarily. They must be in these active forms for you to actually be able to use it, because a lot of people who have digestive problems, etc., cannot absorb any of these vitamins if they're not in this form. And if they have proper digestion, etc., they could absorb the inactive ones, but then internally in their bloodstream, they have to convert it to these active forms. And most people have trouble doing that. So B vitamins tend to be very expensive. And what happens is, if you can't convert it, you're just basically wasting your money. So this is why this is so important, because all the B complexes that's necessary to be in the active form are. And that means this is very, very inexpensive for what you get. So for instance, this active B9 vitamin, what it does is it converts, everyone's heard of folic acid. It's very common, but you see, when you take folic acid, unless you do this conversion to get to this form, you cannot utilize it. So it's a total waste. And so folic acid itself actually is very inexpensive. But this metafolane is, folic acid is inexpensive, but this version, the metafolane folic acid, is very expensive. That's what you're getting. And this is what we need to actually use that vitamin in our system. And so B12 is critical. This is another very common vitamin everyone's heard of. And the active form is the methylcobalamin, which is the active form, which means as soon as you ingest it and the vegetable capsule dissolves, that B12 will be immediately absorbed into your bloodstream and go to work. And it's used specifically for forming your blood cells. So the cyanocobalamin is the synthetic version of B12, and which is man-made, which means a lot of it is not, your body can't use it. So the methylcobalamin is the active form, and that's what your body can use directly without any need for conversion. This form, this cyanocobalamin, your body has to convert it into this form. So it has to do another step. Okay, so same thing with all the others. You get the active forms. Now this is all chemistry, etc. But just know that every single B vitamin you're taking the active forms. As soon as you ingest it and it's released into your digestive system, it gets absorbed immediately. So these are the fruits that they use, the organic fruits and vegetables, where all the different B vitamins come from. So the apple, blueberry, cranberry, that's where they're going to get the B1, B9, B6, B12, and B2 and B7. And then same with here in the vegetables, tomato, carrot, and beet, they're going to get more B1, B9, B6, B12, B3, B5. You see how it sort of overlaps? And then in the dark green veggies, spinach, broccoli, kale, they're going to get more B5, B3, B12, B2, and B7. So you're able to get all of these B vitamins from fruits and vegetables, but it's just a more laborious and more costly way to do it. It's a lot easier to get these B vitamins from the animal products, but a lot of the vegans will not take this. So this is why Atomy has gone through all the extra trouble and costs to make sure that everything is vegan. And so, as you can see, this is just the label. It tells you just 90 capsules, etc. If you're pregnant, nursing, taking any medication, etc. They always do that. Consult. These are just warnings, typical. And so, supplement facts. Take a look here. What they've done is, you see, this is a percent daily value. Look how high it is compared to what is actually, quote, necessary, or the minimum supplement necessary. So in one capsule, you're getting 417% more than what's required of B1, 769%, of B2, etc., etc. Look at B12, 1,000% more than what is deemed necessary. So you get plenty of these B vitamins so that your body can use as much as it needs. Because with these B vitamins, you can't overdose on B vitamins. B vitamins are what you could call water-soluble vitamins, meaning if you don't need it, you will just pee it out. And so some of you will notice sometimes after you've taken a supplement, a B supplement, or even vitamin C, you're maybe in 3 or 4 hours when you pee, your pee may be fluorescent yellow. That fluorescent is part of the riboflavin, the it's just the coloring of the B vitamins. So what you're doing is you're flushing out anything that you don't need. So you don't have to worry about overdosing on the B vitamins. And so here's your daily value. This is what recommended, and this is what's in the active B complexes and percent daily value. Now, if you compare this to other vitamins that has the B, they may have much more in actually the amounts, but you see, this is in the active form, which means you need much less to get actually higher usage in your body. So don't be fooled by the actual this vitamin has a whole bunch, maybe 4 times more. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 4 times more effective, especially if it's not in the form that your body can use. And again, non-GMO. One thing about the Korean products, anytime it uses any kind of plants or even the potatoes, the noodles, etc., it will be non-GMO, because in Korea, anything it's illegal, not allowed any GMO products. So you can be sure that any food substances that comes from Korea, any of the Atomy products, same with the herbs that are used in our skincare products, in the Himohem, etc., will all be non-GMO. And this product is vegan. Now, some other products aren't vegan because they will add certain animal products, like our vitamin C is not vegan. You need to remember that because it has some fish collagen in it. So for totally vegan people, they're not going to want to use that. And obviously, this is gluten-free because there's no gluten. Okay, so that's the end of this presentation with respect